What's up, guys? I want to do a reflection on 2 Timothy 2, 1 through 13. Some of my favorite verses where Paul addresses his son Timothy. And the verses are actually below if you want to read that really quick. But let me just share some thoughts with you. As I read this scripture, first thing that pops in my head is that, Tim has really become a son to Paul. Like Paul is talking to his son Timothy. And this is at the end of Paul's life. And Paul is he's giving Tim one last thing. What's the one last thing that I need you to focus on, that I need you to take away from the mentorship that I've given you? And what it is that Paul needs Tim to be a reproductive leader. And I love it. In verse 2, he literally just says, this is the basic pattern of reproduction. This is how it works. And Paul's just pleading with Tim that he would raise up new disciples. It's what Paul's already taught him. This is it. This is the way of Jesus. This is the only way forward. And I love it. After this, Paul reminds Tim of his identity, about who he really is. He says, Tim, you're called to be a good soldier. You don't have to focus on anything except what the commanding officer is telling you to do, which is make disciples. That's the only vision you need. That's what you need to carry forward. He tells Tim that he's a great athlete that follows the rules. And I think what he's saying is, hey, Tim, as you lead, you need to not get stuck up on a pedestal and be above everybody else, but you need to live a life of accountability. You have to stay connected to the people around you, and you need accountability like anybody else. Don't lose that. And then he also says, keep being a hardworking farmer. And really what I think he's saying and speaking to Tim's heart is that God will always provide for you, that God's always going to be a provider. And then he says, hey, Tim, I need you to reflect on these things. I need you to really reflect on what I just told you. And it's amazing. There's lots of other things I could say here, but I just want to share one other thing, just as we keep it just on this main thought, is that Paul says that the good news of Jesus isn't chained. He's chained, but the good news isn't chained. And how does the good news of Jesus stay unchained? And I think it's simple. The way this thing goes forward is that we continue to make the main thing, which is make disciples. Our faith, it doesn't depend on the health and vitality of our public gatherings. It doesn't depend on anything. It depends on each and every one of us to have the ability to share our life with at least one other person. That's it. And that's the mystery that we carry, that we share our life with at least one other person. Maybe for some of us, it's our family, our friends, our neighbors. That's it. And then I love how he ends, is Paul says, here's the trustworthy saying, is that we have to persevere. And we have to persevere because we've died with Jesus, that we're one with Jesus. And that's something that's trustworthy that we can hold on to. We've died with Jesus, we live with Jesus, and so we can persevere. And we can persevere not just in general, but in believing that the way forward is making disciples. So Lord, I just pray right now, Lord, that we can do the great call that you've given us to make disciples, that spread the good news of Jesus to the ends of the earth. And so, Lord, just pray for that. Lord, even as I reflected on Tim, just Paul sharing with Tim, it just speaks right to my heart, Lord. I just want to believe that you're a provider. I want to live a life of accountability. And Lord, I want to take the vision from my commanding officer that you have one call, is to make disciples. Thank you, Lord.
I believe you are a provider, and you are a protector. You are the one I love. Oh yes, you are provider, and you're my protector. You are the one I love. I believe you are the way, the truth, the life. I believe you are the way, the truth, the life. I know that you are my guiding light. You are my guiding light. You are my shepherd. You show me the way. 'Cause you're the light. You're my path. You're the shepherd of my soul. All I am, all I have. Holy Spirit, lead me on. Oh, you're the light. You're my path. Yes, you're the shepherd of my soul. All I am, all I have. Holy Spirit, lead me on. Lead me. Oh, you are the wind in my sails. You are the wind in my sails now. Oh, I lay down my life to you. Oh, I know I can trust you to show me the way. Oh, I rely on my strength, but yours is everlasting. Yours is everlasting. I know that I can trust you. I know that I can trust you. I know that I can trust you to love like you love. I know that I can trust you. I know that I can trust you. So I'm lifting my hands. Oh, now. Oh, lead me on. Oh, lead me on. Oh, yes, I will climb this mountain with my hands wide open. I will climb this mountain with my hands wide open. I will climb this mountain with my hands wide open. I will climb this mountain. Oh, I know that I can trust you. I know that I can trust you. I I rely on